All right, my friends, this week on Prof and Dev Play Games, we talk about the Sony State of Play and the fact that I beat Mooncat. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome to episode 449 of Prof and Dev Play Games. My name is Larry at Prof Plays Games on Blue Sky. Over there's Anthony the Dev at Summer Speak. How are you?
Doing okay. It's a Sunday. I don't really want to go do stuff tomorrow. I'd like an extra Sunday, please.
Let's have a longer weekend.
Yes, please.
I'm blessed to have had a 3-day weekend because of Native American Day on Friday. That's a holiday for my school. So,
that's cool.
Very cool. Yep. Yay for Native American history and heritage, and also yay for a day off. So
yeah, very
excited. Last week, Tuesday, we had the Sony State of Play, and boy, there was some stuff in there. It wavered for me from a this is okay to a this is a fantastic showcase. How about you?
Similar. I think if they didn't have that final piece on there, would have been this is okay.
Yeah.
Which probably just goes to show that it was okay with a really good ending.
An incredible, for me, an incredible beginning and an incredible ending. And the rest was okay.
Yeah. We can get into it. I mean, the first thing was like, hey, look at more stuff is coming to Astro Bot.
I
feel like we knew that, and that was great. Speedrun levels, specifically, though.
And they had talked about it, and people had, I think mostly knew it was going to be speedrun. But then they said, and then stay tuned for more. Like, oh, there's more than just the speedrun stuff coming.
Yeah.
So they've got 5 speedrun levels with 10 new bots to rescue, so 2 bots each. They showed Helldivers and Stellar Blade bots, which is very cool.
Yep. Still no Final Fantasy. So
yeah,
we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait on that. No, I didn't hear anything.
The director today or yesterday said, it's hard to comment on other publishers. What was the rest of the quote? Hard to comment on other publishers. Everyone has their own needs or something like that. It was something like that, where it's basically like, not going to talk about it, but yeah, we tried. They didn't want to, kind of thing. So, but he was very kind about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no Square of any kind.
Yeah. Okay.
They're very precious with their IP.
Or I guess they are right now.
How much did Nintendo have to pay to get Sephiroth and Cloud into fucking Smash? Isn't that what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
And who knows what they had to do to make that happen? And well, honestly, that and then Sora at the end there.
Oh, true. It's another Square character. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Square and Disney.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone wants to be a Nintendo, I would assume. But, I mean, come on. This is just... I mean, today, my daughter unlocked a bot in a secret world. She's, like, way ahead of me. We both beat the game, but she's now collecting bots. She's got, like, 20 more bots than I do. And one was the main character from Concrete Genie. I was like, dang, they are really just... This is a love letter for... Huh?
They're mining it.
They are. Like, Concrete Genie? Like, no one played that game. It was a good game. But, man, that's a recent game, but still a deep cut. Jesus. And there's no Cloud.
Nope. No Cloud.
You're lost, Square. You're lost.
They're working through some things, I think, right now.
Yeah.
What they always are. I should say that's not new.
I feel like that's our expectations.
Yeah. I feel like that's just a continued Square since the PS3 era. Feels like every 5 to 7 years is we got to rethink our strategy all the time. So,
yeah.
I mean, they still do fine in the end. It's just, I'm like, okay, maybe you'll figure it out eventually, or you won't.
Yeah. They just want to do finer.
Yeah. But so that we got some Astro Bot at the beginning. Then the Midnight Walk, which has a great art style. So
it's this nice claymation thing.
Yeah.
A little spooky though. A little spooky.
Yeah, definitely a little spooky. Yeah, and I saw that it was PS5 and PSVR too.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious how that will feel using either one. Usually focus on like, hey, you can play this with VR or not, or you don't make it. So maybe this is a transition away, being like, yeah, we want to put this game out, and we want the possibility of it actually like being successful.
They were like developing it for PSVR 2, and then they're like, nope, pivot.
Yeah, pivot.
PS5 as well,
can we play? Can we actually just have this run without a VR headset? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Check. We'll do that.
I think it looks fucking neat. It's by the devs that did Lost in Random, which I thought looked cool, but this looks 10 times cooler. So good job. Good job, folks. You got people's attention on this one.
Yeah, it is really creepy, though. Holy cow.
Oh, dude, absolutely fucking not in VR. No. Those little spider fucking things crawling at me? No.
Yeah, no. We had Hell Is Us? What's Hell Is Us? What? Like I said at the beginning, I was paying attention somewhat, but then I was distracted at times.
Yeah, I did not catch what type of game this is.
This is, it's a Souls-ish thing. But it has it's like fantasy, sci-fi. At first I thought, I'm like, is this Death Stranding too? It has a Death Stranding 2 vibe to it.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like a weird mix of modern and fantasy.
This guy's got a drone in one of these.
Yeah, exactly. The drone came out, and I was like I said, I wasn't paying complete attention. I was like, is it a Death Stranding thing? I mean, I feel like it's inspired in a way by that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, combat wise, it looks like a very Souls-likey type of slow, methodical combat.
It looks good, like just visually. It looks good. It feels like it plays smoothly. It's fucking creepy, so no thanks. But this is for someone.
Yeah. Actually, this little blurb says, looks like an amalgamation of Death Stranding meets Dark Souls. And I'm like, maybe, and then meet something like Control? I didn't see as much Control in there, but definitely see the Death Stranding and the Dark Souls influences. Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot of creepy stuff. And then you get Metro
3 in a row,
VR. I'm like, nope, out. Not going to do Metro in VR.
No.
Also, they'll probably make me puke. FPSs in VR are not my friend.
Really? You? Yeah. Are you more into like the diorama kind of games?
Yeah.
I love those. Are my favorites too.
The FPS stuff actually just gets to me pretty quickly. Actually, a lot of times.
That's why I liked Moss. It was just a diorama platformer.
Exactly.
Like I really, really enjoyed that. So after that, we had Arch Age Chronicles, which looks like a RPG set in a fantasy world. I don't know. Is it an MMORPG? No, they had an MMORPG.
Yeah, that's why the name sounds familiar.
Yeah. This is a single player. It looked like someone cribbing The Witcher.
Yeah, actually, totally. I can totally see that.
Well, you're passing like the tree with the people hanging in the tree, which is what happens at the beginning of that game. I don't know. Fantasy RPG is what we got.
Yeah. It says it's an online action RPG.
Huh.
Not an MMO, but online. So I guess you can play and party and
It's got some neat looking combat, but again, I hate to overuse Soulsy, but it's just fucking third player action.
Yeah.
But dodging and got some cool magic.
Yeah.
Abilities going on, and some really really neat environments. Like the environments look fucking cool. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. I don't think it was dated at all. It was just announced.
No, it wasn't. It was just announced, exactly.
Coming 2025. All right. And then the next one.
Fucking hell. Power World.
I'm surprised they just pull this out and be like, yep, we're just not going to put this in here right now.
They kind of did, because this is Power World coming to PS5. It launched that day, but it did not come to PS5 in Japan. So.
Oh, that makes sense.
All other territories.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So I think, I'm surprised it didn't just come out completely, but I think that would also make a statement from Pocket Pair. So they're like, we have a game. We don't believe we did anything wrong. We are going to put it out everywhere. So there you go.
Yeah.
And if you're really interested in this game, like if things go real south, I mean, if they go real south, like you just get refunded and they take the game away from you. But
Yeah.
I also could just see them like no longer for sale, no longer active. But I guess there's servers for the game, so even if you get to keep it, can you even play it if this whole thing shuts down? Who knows?
Yeah, no, it's gonna work. That just actually sparked a thing. Did you see your state is working on potentially a law that would put at least somewhere whenever you're buying digital games saying that you don't own this?
I did. I thought I saw that they had put that law in. You're saying that they are considering it?
I don't think it's has passed yet. I thought it was up for resolution. I don't know if it has to ever be. If it's a law that's going to be voted on. I didn't dig that far into it, or if it's just working its way through the California government. But either way, I'm like, California's going to push that. That'll be fun.
I mean, why not put that disclaimer out there? You're not buying the game, you're buying a license because we're doing it anyways.
I'm sure it'll be like, how would I say this? Thought so hard that it's not going to be as clear as it needs to be. But
probably, yeah.
It'll be like a little blurb at the bottom of like the page. You have to not even at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Scroll down, but it's a start. People should understand that. Thinking of Pal World being like, I don't own that anywhere. I have a copy on Steam.
You have a license on Steam.
If it becomes illegal completely,
they will take it away.
They legally have to take it away and my access to it. So,
well, we saw it with Concord. It's not the same thing, but like I owned Concord and then I didn't own Concord.
Correct.
And that's part of the license, like that they can take it away at any time, I'm sure. Which is why I'm, Nintendo, at least, obviously, Nintendo games specifically, I'm going all physical. And deeply regretting that I only have a digital PS5 right now. And thinking of ways to rectify that. So we'll see how that goes over the next year or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, next year, or the PS5 Pro is digital only. You can expand it with the disc drive, of course, but they didn't put out a disc drive version. So what's the PS6 going to look like?
And the disc drive has to connect to the internet.
And it has to connect to the internet. That's right.
It can't. It's not like because it has to confirm the Blu-ray licensing each time.
Yep. Which is not true of the base PS5, right?
Nope.
That's like all the more reason for me to just get a disc drive base PS5.
Potentially. I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard.
No, it won't be. I mean, I can get a refurbished one from Sony for $400. I might just do that instead of, talk myself into upgrading to a Pro that I don't need and don't want. But I do have the Xbox Series X to pick up physical games this generation, so maybe I'll just be happy with that. The next announcement here is a game that I never played, but I wonder if you did. Lunar.
I never played Lunar. I know of it back in the day. I think my friend in college freshman year, Patrick, who you've met a couple times.
Oh yeah,
sure. He had Lunar. I was playing Lunar. We kind of bonded over JRPGs. And yeah, I had never heard of it until college, and he was playing that. I like Final Fantasy VIII or whatever at that time.
Sure.
I've always been interested in him, and this is kind of neat. Are they coming to any other platform, or is it only Sony?
I don't know, because I'm looking at Destructoid, or we are, and it says coming to PS4, PS5, and
the end of the trailer only says PS4, PS5. I'm like, is this going to be Switch?
The trailer for PS5 or the Sony State of Play saying that only makes sense, but then when it gets put on the other websites, they usually say, and it's coming to blah, blah, blah. I mean, this looks like a fucking Switch game for sure, but anyone who's skipping PC at this point is missing out. The Assassin's Creed Shadows got pushed back, and they're going to make sure it's on PC day and date because they're just not hitting their sales targets.
Yeah.
And boy, I'll tell you, this PS5 Pro thing has made me start Googling NVIDIA 4080s. Like, fuck it. If I'm going to spend that much money, I'm just going to upgrade my computer.
Sure.
I'm not
And
doing that, but I'm saying
and then you can cry and see how expensive those cards are still.
Dude, they're $1,000.
Yeah, it's annoying.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, Nvidia is like, yeah, we can charge you so much for graphics cards now.
And it's not even crypto mining anymore that's pushing it up, right? Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
They just can. That's how it is. Like, in general, just not demand for those specific cards, but Nvidia, I mean, is just basically selling AI, like shifting so much of their stuff to just being like, no, we're just going to dedicate our resources to making cards for AI and AI installations. And so, I don't know.
They're paying
it's ridiculous.
Tons of money. There's tons of money in it for them. That's why their stock prices went to the fucking moon.
Yeah.
I'm happy with my 3060, my DLSS 2 instead of 3 or whatever. It's all good.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a 3080, so it's fine.
The 3080, how much of an upgrade is that over the 3060? Is it significant or just?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I'd have to compare. Yeah. I mean, you're not getting crazy new features, but
no, for sure. But I am thinking about my new 2K monitor. I'm like,
sure, yeah.
I'm still fine. I'm sure. Anyway, next piece was something that was not a hidden secret. It kept leaking several days before the state of play. If you saw it, it's TMNT Shredder's Revenge getting 2 new playable characters, Mona Lisa and Mondo Gecko. They are going deep for the characters.
They really are.
It's fucking pretty neat, actually. I remember having Mondo Gecko action figure as a kid.
I did not. I don't even know Mona Lisa.
I know Mona Lisa. I saw her in a cartoon, but I didn't have her. Didn't have any action figure of hers. But Mondo Gecko certainly did.
Yeah.
There's also a free update. That one's a paid DLC, which I'll probably pick up because I picked up the last one with the Usagi Yojimbo.
Oh yeah, Usagi Yojimbo.
Yeah. This one has free remix of the official soundtrack, so that you can play it with some remixed songs.
That's cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Want to give us the next one, Anthony? Since it's the last one you picked up for Fantasy Critic.
It is. They got off some Fantasian. The key part of this thing being like, it wasn't like a ton of new gameplay. Like you see some, but for the most part, it's the release, which is I think December. Yeah, December 5th.
December 5th, really? Exactly.
Which is very cool, but I'm also like, is it getting physical? I can't remember.
Oh, I hope so. I was hoping to pick it up for physically on Switch.
That's my hope too.
Yeah. God, I don't know though. Actually, I hadn't seen.
Yeah, I'm very, very, very curious to see this. I love the diorama aspect of it. Yeah, Sakaguchi just getting to make another game is really cool, and then I love just the interviews being like that. It worked out that Square would publish it once the Apple deal was done.
Yeah.
So, and gave them resources to do. I wouldn't say it's a remaster from the Apple version, but actually take time to properly port it to consoles from mobile.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it overall. I mean, it's December. Should have a clear calendar by that point, maybe.
Yeah, unless you're playing what the fuck's it called? Indiana Jones, which you probably are not. So
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm good.
There you go. Clear calendar.
Nice. Yeah, they showed that, and then we got into some Veilguard.
Who is putting together the marketing plan for Dragon Age: The Veilguard?
I don't know.
They're not doing a very good job, because I'm excited for this game, and this trailer bored the shit out of me. That long ass fight with the dragon.
Yeah, you're like, cool, spongy bosses. This is great.
Spongy boss, and it kept like cutting to like the next like chunk of its health. And I was like, how long is this fight? Maybe it's more engaging when your hands are on the sticks, but dude, yeah, no, this should have been not a 4-minute trailer.
No. Yeah. I feel like I want to like this. I like this game, but they're trying real hard to make me question.
That is how I feel too.
Wanting to like actually like play this.
Well, I've been waiting for the paycheck I just got. I'm like, okay, I'm going to pre-order this game with that check. And then this came out, and I was like, I'm going to wait for reviews now. Like, I want to be sure.
Sure. I mean, I get it.
I want it to be good so bad. If it is, or reviews well, I'm definitely buying it.
I mean, definitely people who have played it seem to enjoy it.
Really, I think even more than enjoy it. They really, really, really liked it. And there's like some Dragon Age skeptics out there, but fuck, they're making me question it. Yes, exactly like you said.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just having it going in the background. And I'm almost like, I don't know if it's just like, is it just like EA's B marketing team? I don't know. Like,
yeah, honestly, that's what it feels like. To start, go back to the Fortnite trailer that people were pissed off about. I didn't mind it that much. I know you didn't like it, but and then to this, like, and when people get it in their hands and play like the 7-hour preview or whatever, they're like, this is a great game, but God, it does not show. It's not that it doesn't show well; it's that they're not marketing it right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I'll just have to wait and see. I mean, that's the end of almost exactly a month from when we're recording right now.
That's right. Halloween.
Yeah. Also an odd release date. I'm not going to be home on Halloween.
No, who is? I'm out with my kids.
Yeah, I'm like, there's probably plenty of people at home, but it's a large night for people to go out with kids, doing stuff, or parties, or
if you don't have kids at school, you're out doing other things with other people's kids or fucking with your friends or whatever.
Yeah. And nothing in the marketing has made me feel like it's a Halloween game overall.
No.
I'm like, it's just Dragon Age. It doesn't.
Yeah. Why Halloween? Why again? The marketing. What the fuck? Like, a week earlier, a week later. This is all. Something. Whatever. Got to have something to complain about, I guess. But I'm just.
But it's skeptical. Like they're trying very hard for me to be skeptical about this game. And I already was kind of skeptical for how long it's been in development.
Yes, exactly.
That is the key part. I'm like, it's hard for a game to have been in development this long, and then my knowledge of like it being rebooted multiple times and it was at one point going to be a like live service kind of Destiny-ish type of game, and then they scrapped all that. And this is what we're getting now, and I'm like, only from a developer standpoint do I'm like, wow, it's real hard for a game to come all the way through that over a decade and stick the landing.
Yep.
So I'm like, come on, guys, just show me why you're sticking the landing, why this is going to work. And they're not.
No, everything they show gets me less excited. I'm like, that's not good. And I still don't believe that's what the final product's going to be. I think the final product is going to be excellent. But good God, folks. Oh well.
Talking about excellent though, Alan Wake 2 Lake House expansion. This trailer is creepy.
Holy crap. Is the scary one. The last one wasn't as scary as this.
No, this one's the scary one. This is going to get us to how this really is going to tie to Control more.
Yes, exactly.
This will be the teaser into whatever Control 2 is going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks terrifying, and it's out soon.
Yeah, it's out in October sometime.
Yeah,
even early part of October, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's the date? It just says October.
Yeah, so they didn't give a specific date. It's going to hit at some point. Maybe that will be on Halloween.
That should be the Halloween date. Exactly right.
Then we got Hitman World of Assassination, PSVR 2. I do not care.
Not at all. Sorry.
Nope.
Too little, too late with PSVR 2. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered got announced. It was leaked by PSN.
Played these.
Me neither. I was going to ask you if you played them.
But I had some college friends, specifically one college friend that loved Soul Reaver 2, like these games, like loved them. And I know they're kind of like cult classic kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
people keep asking for them to be remastered. So
should I play them? Like
they look like a relic of their era, even remastered. So I would be happy to watch people play this, I guess, and see what
that's probably what I'll do.
Is about. Yeah. December 10th. So
okay,
I'll check it out, see some gameplay, and see what it looks like. More spooky, scary shit. Fear the Spotlight. This is the one that got, I think, put out and then unreleased because someone picked them up and said, "We'll give you more money to spend more time on this." It's polygonal, looking like a
PS1 game.
PS1 game, exactly. Blumhouse Studios is funding them.
All right.
This is a Blumhouse game. Well, I mean, the dev is someone else, but Blumhouse put money into it.
Yeah.
And that's the one that had them unrelease it. But you're
unrelease your game, please.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they released it, and they're like, "Unrelease it. We'll give you more money. Give you money to make this, as good as you can make it." Yeah, pretty much. No, I'm not. Nope, this is not my kind of game. Sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
I do like to see stuff. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's great, right? We're in the spooky season, so it makes a lot of sense, and people are looking for that, and those people are not me, and that's fine. Not everything needs to be for me.
Yeah.
Next one I don't remember actually seeing in the.
I thought I've heard of this game before.
Towers of Agazba. I must have blacked out for this part of the showcase.
It's like an open world exploration thingy.
Huh. Grow ecosystem to unlock. Wow, that's fucking crazy. To unlock 40 creatures.
That's weird. It's on Steam. Says it's an early access game, but you can actually buy it.
Ah, interesting. Enters early access November 2024 on PS4 or PS5, I mean, but it's on Steam. It says it's a mix of Horizon and Zelda.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay, this looks kind of neat. The environments look rich and.
Yeah, it got announced in 2023, May of 2023.
I must have missed it.
I don't remember where it got announced, but it did, and now we get to see more of it. That's why it looks familiar. But could be cool. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait for reviews. Could be cool.
Yeah.
Got some neat combat going on, some exploration going on. What's not neat is this fucking Fortnite DualSense controller.
Oh, don't you want a Fortnite controller?
Dude, no. And anyways, but this one looks terrible. It's just like fucking graffiti.
This is your Christmas present from me.
Oh right man, there. I'm really sorry to disappoint you, but I'm going to not like that gift at all. It's blue, which is nice, but it's just like got Fortnite graffiti all over it. It looks stupid as fuck to me, but I like my Astro Bot controller, and I'm not getting the PlayStation 30th anniversary controller, so
yeah. After that was actually one I will probably pick up or play at some point.
I think I will too.
Dynasty Warrior Origins. When was the last actual Dynasty Warrior game?
I don't know, because there's been so many spin-offs with Nintendo that I don't know.
I'm like, man, they've been doing a lot of. Megaforce has been doing a lot of non-Dynasty Warriors stuff.
I'm excited to see the promise of this game that we've seen for our whole lives on something that can run it with all the characters on screen.
Dynasty Warriors 9 was in 2018 for the PS4.
Okay.
Yep. So, and this is 2025. So yeah, it'll be 7 years between Dynasty Warriors, because they were doing, all the Nintendo stuff.
Exactly. They were, right? They did 2 Zeldas. They did 2 Fire Emblems. Yeah. And they did a Persona Strikers.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, they did.
So
it's a lot of games that is non-Dynasty Warriors in that time.
Exactly. In that style.
Yeah, so. And you're right. That's what I was looking at. I'm like, oh, it's going to be great to have this style of game on a system that can power it.
And it's a great date, January 17th. Perfect. Let's start the year with it. Just to fucking turn off your brain, smash shit game.
Yep. Watch pretty good. Hundreds, if not thousands, of characters fly through the air.
Yep.
And
defy physics. Yeah, sounds good.
Yep. But then you have that, and then you have effectively a month, and then you get the next game. And I am going to be there February 28th for Monster Hunter Wilds.
We're going to lose you to this game.
Oh, yeah. my hunting party is ready to go. I've played hundreds of hours of Worlds and Rise with them, and we will be set to go. And it's going to be amazing. I am so looking forward to this.
It was very cool. It looks like a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, it totally does. And I'm like, yep, and I'm here for it.
That's great.
It looks like the sequel to Worlds, specifically. It's not where Rise was the sequel to the previous games before Worlds.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, this is very much like, hey, we made Worlds, now Wilds is gonna take that forward.
People are really, really, really fucking excited for this game.
Monster Hunter's cool.
Yeah. I wish
monsters get parts.
Yeah.
Get better. Fight even crazier monsters.
Use some crazy weapons, like a fucking insect glaive.
I love the insect glaive. That was my
yes, of course.
That is my World's weapon. It was not my Rise weapon. I didn't like the controls on the Switch. But I will try a glaive first again. I don't think they're doing any new weapons. I think I would have heard if they had. I think they've announced everything, and it's all the same weapons that they've had. It's not like adding a new weapon's easy for them at this point. I think they have like 14. And the thing is every weapon is a different playstyle. So, it's probably
you have to learn
pretty difficult. Set, right? Yeah, there's a very high skill ceiling for every weapon. That's why you can people can spend so much time in this game, because you can be like, I'm going to switch weapons, and then you just start learning again.
It's like a whole new game.
Yeah. But I have a couple that I like. So, it's going to be fun. Oh, and you pre-order and you get a really cool looking red mage armor.
Cool.
They don't call it red mage, but I'm like, that's a red mage.
Is red mage a class in this game? Or
no, that's just final. This is the Final Fantasy red mage. It looks like the Final Fantasy red mage, even though it's not. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Well, you're excited for that. I'm excited for the next game, and so is my daughter, especially after getting to the Astro Bot level. Spoilers, where Horizon is there. This is Horizon Adventures, Lego Horizon Adventures, which is basically retelling the story of Horizon Zero Dawn in Lego form. E10, which is great. My daughter, after playing the Horizon VIP level for Astro Bot, was like, who is this person? She's great. I want to play a game with her. And she's like, wait, is that the Lego game? Can we play that, Daddy? Like, yes, this is good job.
You can play the Lego one. Yes.
Good job, Sony. You did it.
Yeah.
It looks great. Comes out November 14th, I think.
Yeah. I will not be playing that. If I'm picking up a new game at that time, it will be Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it's coming around the same time.
Like November 13th or something. It's right there.
Yeah, it's
right there. It's like a week, give or take. It could theoretically even be the day before. But the Lego version looks great. I'm surprised that's happening. I'll say that. I'm like,
absolutely.
What weird lunch meeting or just BSing at a con was like, hey, you want to do a Lego Horizon game?
I think this would be my favorite Horizon game. I swear to God. Horizon Zero Dawn, I beat. Horizon Forbidden West, I beat. I like them. They're okay. But man, it just looks fun. It just looks fun. It brings the humor that I think they were trying to do a little bit in those two games, but they were, pretty serious.
Yes.
Pretty serious. So I'm excited about that. And also I'm excited for what this means for other Lego Sony games. What else could they do? I can't think of anything else they can do. I guess you could do a Lego God of War, but you have to scrape off a lot of stuff to get it down to.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yes. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, no, it's not gonna be that.
No, I don't know what it would be.
Lego Last of Us.
No, see, same thing. Like how much gets
I know.
cut away.
Just think of that game though; it makes me laugh a lot.
It would be great. The funny thing about Lego Horizon Adventure is retelling the story of Horizon Zero Dawn is that Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered is coming out on Halloween. So 2 weeks before this. So if you really want that Horizon Zero Dawn story in your veins, you get 2 chances.
Yeah, and it's like $10 if you own.
Yes.
Which I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just be getting the remaster version at some point because why not? And then basically, in a lot of ways, I'm like, oh, this just makes it very smooth looking. Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, they basically look the same roughly now. So I'm like, cool.
I like that Sony has done the $10 upgrade path. They did it for Last of Us 2, not 1, but 2. They did it for Nathan Drake Collection, so I did both of those. I was thinking I'm probably not going to revisit Zero Dawn, but for $10, I was thinking, I haven't actually done the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn. Maybe I'll do that. So we'll see.
Yeah, $10 is a great. I mean, I'll probably just pick it up at some point just to have it again. I don't think I'll replay this. I mean, I platinumed it. Right. I did everything.
Yep.
And I never want to do some of those things ever again.
Mm-hmm.
The first game was not a fun platinum. I'll say that. There was
no. I remember
I want to break my controller levels of frustration a couple times.
I remember during that time in that podcast where you're like had done that. I was like, I'm gonna go look at the list. Oh, fuck no. No, I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, I was
love for this game, to be honest.
Yeah, but I did it, and that's okay. Neat game though. I saw. I mean, people being like, "Oh, they're remastering a thing." I mean, it's 7 years old, but I think it's mostly more of just a low cost kind of thing that they can do. It's a side company just doing this process. So.
Yes, Nixus doing it for PlayStation and PC, I think.
Yeah, I just think it's just a low hanging fruit that they can just do to pad out their portfolio a little bit. So I get it. I don't think this takes away from any of the other games Sony is working on. It's just a side thing that can be done. So.
Well, and why not? Why not just bring it to the fidelity of Horizon Forbidden West?
Forbidden West. Yep, I think that's what they're trying to do. While Guerrilla probably works on the next one, I assume.
Did you hear the report from Schreier this weekend?
No.
It's not Horizon 3, it's Horizon Online is the next one.
They wanted to do online stuff for Forbidden West. They really wanted to do so you could play it multiplayer. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, no, let's just go bigger. Let's just let people live in that world. That doesn't bother me. That really doesn't bother me.
No, none of this bothers me. Like the internet freaking out about no one wanted this remaster. Who cares? Let them do what they want to do. But if Horizon Monster Hunter is the thing that they're working on, that's the one I could probably get into.
So, I'm like, that would be pretty damn cool.
That would be fucking cool. You have those awesome robot dinosaur designs, like robot dinosaurs. That should be like it. That's the sales pitch.
Yeah. I mean, that was a sales pitch for Zero Dawn that we're looking at. That was they're like, look at this, robot dinosaurs. And you're like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. I seriously remember that first trailer being like, I'm incredibly intrigued. I want to see more of this, but who came up with this? What are they?
Exactly.
Why am I looking at dinosaurs that are robots? But
it's just a smash up of me in kindergarten. Like, what would I love to see?
Yeah.
Yes, robot dinosaurs.
Yep. They did it. Yeah, so online, that makes sense. They've been they've been wanting to do that for a while. So doesn't surprise me that the next one would be something like around that. Then we got to see Stellar Blade Nier collab. I can't tell if it has new content or if it's just costume stuff.
They didn't say much about it yet, so it's just like we're going to do a collab, and then they just spent their time talking about photo mode.
Yeah. Okay.
Which, by the way, photo mode in Stellar Blade is going to get someone in trouble.
Never. I don't know why. There's nothing to get anyone in trouble there. Jesus.
Yeah. But cool. More Stellar Blade stuff. That's great. Glad to see Stellar Blade in Astro Bot, and the devs of Stellar Blade were highly influenced by Nier. So
yeah, very
duh.
much so.
Yeah. But I assume it's going to be skins or I don't know, maybe a whole character.
Skins, costume type, cosmetic stuff is where that's where I originally went with what they showed there. But I'm like, could be more.
Could be more. I mean, that last shot where she's looking over the a scene from Stellar Blade, like, oh, maybe 2B is in. I mean, 2B is in fucking everything.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. Then we got to see some colored PlayStations. Chroma collection.
They look nice. I mean, that fucking green one, that chroma green is like, that's beautiful. But God, how many controllers do I need? I don't need enough.
I don't know. You tell me. How many do you need?
I have enough.
Are you sure?
I am. I have 4. So an aim controller with the back pedals, and then I have the Astro Bot, and then I have my Dual Sense Edge, which is amazing, and then I have a purple regular one. So enough, I think. Won't get me, Sony. You won't get me. Then there was a PlayStation 5. Mark Cerny was back with his dope haircut.
Yep.
Talking about the Pro on a fucking squished YouTube video. Compressed YouTube video. That's what I was looking for. But yay, the Pro is there.
Yep. You're like, cool. All that stuff. There's been showing more of 7 Rebirth using it, and it does look so much better. I think Digital Foundry did a thing on it. Look on 7 Rebirth on a Pro, and they're like, yeah, it looks way better with high frame rate. And I'm like, I will not spend that much money for a good looking Rebirth.
Exactly. Wait till it comes.
But
PC.
But I was like, well, but that happened, and then I was like, okay, this has been an okay showcase. There's stuff that we've known here. I wouldn't say anything that's like blow my socks off in any way. A lot of DLC pieces and smaller things coming out, indie things. And then they go to this, start this next trailer. And I immediately, when it was in the black and white, my mind immediately went to Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, instantaneous.
I was like, wait, are we actually doing this? And they did. But it's not Ghost of Tsushima 2. It is Ghost of Yotei.
Set 300 years past Jin Sakai, in the Sengoku period, which is the beginning of the Edo period, I think.
Yeah, it's 1603. I mean, you can call it the Edo period or the Tokugawa period. It's the rise of the shogunate. The Tokugawa shogunate actually happened in 1603. But before Yotei is a mountain in what we now call Hokkaido.
But then it wasn't part of Japan, right?
No. Weirdly, like the Ainu people that lived there, the native people there, were a splinter of the like Jomon people of Japan, like ancient Japan. Like the group split into different islands at one point in like thousands of years earlier. So, but generally, Hokkaido wasn't considered part of Japan at the time. In the time period whenever the Japanese shogunate was pushing into Hokkaido, it's kind of started in 1603, trying to unify Japan, all the islands. So I feel like this trailer really shows a very Wild West feel to it. And I think that kind of is what it is kind of alluding to, is that that Hokkaido at this time is kind of the Wild West. And going up there is kind of you're not under a lot of laws or anything like that. I'm very curious what this is going to be, though. Female protagonist.
Yep. Atsu, is her name?
Yeah, carrying around Shimasen on her back.
I'm so intrigued by that piece, man.
Yeah. Have you heard that instrument before? Well, you hear it.
I've heard
in the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
You hear it in the trailer. It's the main kind
Yeah,
of
I've heard it.
stringy.
I've heard it elsewise too. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
it's a
that
really
she's
cool
carrying
instrument.
it, man, tells me
Yeah,
like a lot about this character. And they keep kind of foregrounding it in a lot of the shots. I'm like, this is
they
gonna,
do.
Jinsakai did fucking haikus, right?
Yep.
She's gonna be playing some music, I hope, and she got a fucking
I feel like that's what it's gonna be.
yeah,
Like she's gonna pull it off, and like instead of writing haikus, she's gonna play music.
yep. I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah, the whole thing is so cool. Like I had there's a shot a little bit more than halfway through the trailer when it's just like her overlooking the mountain, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, it just gave me chills. I was like, yep, I want this. I want this so bad right now.
I think it's so interesting. Did you watch Blue Eye Samurai on
Yeah.
Netflix? Okay.
Yep.
So, it's the same period. So when the guns are being introduced to Japan, basically, and the trailer ends with Atsu, I think her name is, shooting a gun right at the end. Boom. So we've got something, another dimension coming to Ghost that wasn't there in Tsushima, obviously, because we're in the future. But
yeah, this is before they cut off Western influence. That was, I want to say, like, I could be wrong on the exact dates. About 20 years from when Ghost is being set. Was, I think it's like 20 years later during this time period is whenever they were like, no more, like, close the borders, no more foreign influence, which that's how they had some guns and gunpowder and stuff at the time, where before that happened. But
yep, I've seen the historically accurate Blue Eyed Samurai.
yeah, that's very. I mean, they did that show does a good Anime does a good job of at least trying to like align itself with the time period. It's not awful. It's not, of course, realistic at all, but it fictionalizes some real events that actually happened. Actually, there you go. It's 16. It's actually later. It's like 50 years on. Is when they close the borders. But yeah, this very excited for this game. That's all I can really say. There's the wolf thing, so I assume you're gonna either have a wolf companion or you're following wolves around. Hopefully, you have a wolf companion.
It seemed
That'd
like
be
a
cool.
wolf companion.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, like way to up the fucking hype I have for a Ghost sequel. Give me a female protagonist, set it in a different time period, give her a fucking instrument, and then give her a wolf companion. Like and keep the color palette, man. Like the horses running through the yellow field. Oh, genius, man. They we'll give you
pretty.
color. We're not grim dark, unless you want to play the black and white.
The Kurosawa mode.
Thank you, Kurosawa. I'm like something Sawa. I am stoked for this. Couldn't be more excited. This is, honestly, rewind, go to the PS5 Pro showcase and like, hey, this is what this game looks like on base PS5. This is what it looks like on PS5 Pro. That might have done it for me,
Yeah.
God, but this is going to look great on the PS5.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just excited. It got announced and it's going to happen. I assume this is fall 2025.
Me too.
This is going to be their big game at the end of next year. Which is interesting they're showing it so early.
Well, I was about to say the opposite, that because they're showing it so late or even mentioning it so late, I feel like this is probably going to hit 2025 and not slip. So we'll see.
That is very potential. It's likely. They've been working. When did Tsushima come out?
2020.
Oh, that's about right. Because my only hope with it is like they don't try to fix what's not broken with it. Exactly. It's like, no, like you made a great game. You don't need to drastically fix anything. Just iterate on it. Improve it, polish it.
Yep.
But it doesn't need to radically change. And I'm hoping they just they took that that thought and ran with it that way. Which also would probably help development be a bit quicker on it, if they're not trying to like completely go crazy and redo anything.
Right.
Because it looks like it has all this from that trailer. You can see like, all right, the standoff stuff is still there in some form. a horse through the fields, the wind to guide you, like no UI. I feel like they're not change that stuff.
No, but they're gonna need to add if they're gonna put the guns in there for real, add in third-person shooting kind of thing.
Yeah,
which was not present.
Whatever.
No,
yeah,
I don't know. That's not true. You were shooting bows in the base game and Legends.
There was bow
too.
builds. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So maybe not too hard then. But yeah, dude, what a good showcase. I thought, or fucking state of play. I mean, not a showcase. It was not a showcase, but a good state of play with some stuff that is appealing to lots of people for spooky times, and then some good stuff for everyone else. So
yeah, very cool.
And then Power World.
Yeah, the end really nailed it for me. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then my coworkers and everybody, we had our Slack thread where everyone was just like, ah!
Everyone's like, yes, it's here.
Yes.
A couple people on the internet were butthurt that it's a woman and it's not Jessica.
Oh, I'm sure. Whatever.
Yep. Whatever.
Any YouTube video I saw that even commented on it being a female protagonist, I was just like, thumbs down. I don't care.
Yep.
It doesn't even need to be commented on. Like,
yep.
Yeah, that, because anytime I saw someone comment on it was not in a way that I'd be like, oh, you're not praising this. You're just trying to draw attention to it in a not the nicest way, but you don't want to straight out say that you're unhappy with it. And I was like, nah, let's thumbs down that crap. I don't need that. Because it doesn't matter like that. It's cool. And guess what? The representation does matter, and it's going to happen. And
it absolutely does.
It just moves on.
Playing with my daughter, playing Astro Bot, and we can maybe pivot to what we are playing.
Yeah.
You're able to put on different costumes, and as soon as she was able to put on Cat from Gravity Rush and have Astro Bot look like a girl, she was all in. And then the Aloy level where she was like, "Oh, is that a girl? Is that what?" Want to know more about it. And she's like, "I want to play an adventure game where I'm a girl and run around with a bow and arrow." Like, yeah, well, that's this game.
Not that game.
It's rated T, so we're not going to play that one, but the Lego one's coming, and it's perfect. So yeah, it really does matter. She's very, very excited. So I'm glad that she's able to see, her gender, sex reflected in the games that she's playing. So it matters a lot.
Yeah.
So we're playing that. Played Astro Bot this morning. My daughter beat the base game, and by base game I mean like didn't get all the bots. And then she, rolled credits and did the whole credit sequence, which I will not spoil for you. I hope that you'll play Astro Bot one day. But it's a really cool, probably the best credits sequence I've seen in a game. So she played that. I have been playing UFO 50 quite a bit and a little bit of Final Fantasy 16, but UFO 50, man. I hope your game dev folks are fucking talking about it.
They are pretty constantly.
Oh my God, man. So there's this game called Mooncat. Have you heard about Mooncat?
I have not.
Well, you should, Google a YouTube and just look at it. You're a fucking jelly bean with legs, and you are playing. And I gave it to my wife. I had played it previously for maybe 10 minutes, and I gave it to my wife 2 nights ago, I think it was, just to have her reaction, so I could say her reaction on this podcast. I gave it to her to play, and I'll tell you why she reacted this way in a minute. But she played it for maybe 60 seconds at most, gave it back to me and said, "Get this away from me forever." That's exactly what she said. It was so fucking funny. So the reason why I wanted her to check it out is because the controls, you maybe have heard of this, maybe not. The D-pad, anything on the left side moves your character left. The buttons, anything on the right side moves your character right. So the D-pad doesn't work like a D-pad. The stick doesn't work like a stick. Anything on the left side of the controller, you go left. Anything on the right side, you go right. So if you hit B, you go right. You hit A, you go right. You hit left on the D-pad, you go left. You hit right on the D-pad, you go left. You hit left first and then hit the right, anything on the right side of the controller, and you'll jump to the right. To the left, sorry. Okay. If you hold anything on the right side, and then you're moving right, and then you hit anything on the left side, you'll jump right. You double tap anything on the other side of the controller, and you'll dash in that direction. You jump, and then you can air dash doing the same thing. You jump, and then you tap the button from the direction you were jumping in. You'll do a ground pound. The controls are break your fucking brain. So I gave it to my wife for her to check it out and, just get that reaction. And then I was laying on the couch next to her while she was watching I forget what she was watching. And I was like, okay. And I intended to close it and play Yakuza Like a Dragon, which I've been playing too, and is fucking awesome. No, I kept playing Mooncat. I was like, let me just try it one more time. And somehow everything gelled. I got it. And then I beat the game. It's probably a 15-minute experience. And I just like, unlimited lives helped in this thing, but just mastering the platforming, you know how much I love platformers. This is a weird ass platformer with weird ass controls. And I'm like, I get this now. I think I'm going to keep going, see how this goes. And it's the first game I beat in UFO 50. And I felt so proud of myself because it is fucking weird. So yeah, that's my story about that game.
Okay. I do need to play it. Yeah, a lot of my coworkers everyone has like their different games that they're playing and they like, and some are going through it very methodically, like they're going to play each game in order. Some are jumping around. But it feels like there's just kind of something there for everybody that's like a very glorified game jam in a lot of ways.
Yes, it's game jam on steroids, man.
Yeah, so I'll play it at some point. There's so much right now coming up, and so I'm just kind of taking it easy in that regard. But man, does it look cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Other than those two things, Astro Bot with my daughter, and then UFO 50, and then some Yakuza. A little bit of Space Marine 2, also just, same thing. Playing it feels good. The story is, I guess, a Warhammer Space Marine story, kind of like, I'm not super into it.
Shoot things.
Yeah, basically, shoot things, saw through things. Like, it's just, the story is not compelling. I don't want to play it every night, but every once in a while I get in the mood to like go hack things, and it's a good one of those. Zelda Echoes of Wisdom came out, and my daughter and I only played for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We didn't get back to it because she wanted to beat Astro Bot before she got deep into Zelda. And when she went back to Astro Bot, she's like, I want to get all the bots first now. Like, fuck, okay, I guess we're not playing Zelda for a while. I'm going to play on my own then, kid, which she's fine with. But boy, is it clever. The echoes, the way you use them, like it's more than just I'm going to use beds for everything. Like there really is some really clever stuff happening. It runs well for me. I haven't had any frame rate issues so far, and I've been out in the overworld dicking around. Lots of hidden stuff, lots of secrets, lots of things to find, lots of hidden echoes to find. It's just charming as all fucking hell. I love it.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
I haven't been able to play it because I'm not allowed to, but I have watched some of it. Not to spoil myself too much, but my daughter loves it. Like that, she just keeps talking and she's like, "All right, tomorrow I'm going to play more." I think it's taken her a little bit to get used to like just the amount of puzzle solving to do and the amount of echoes she can learn. So many things. Yeah. But she's having a blast, and then watching her play it is just kind of neat how she's choosing to defeat things, enemies, or use different echoes. I'm like, I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it or not. I guess it doesn't matter. It's just solve what you're doing with whatever you have. She was very amused that your cooking in this game was smoothies.
Yes, isn't that neat?
Yep.
I haven't got a chance to make anything yet, but yes, it's super cool.
It's smoothies. No, you don't cook. You just blend it up. Yeah, it's an incredibly charming game. It looks so good. Did you see the thing? Did you watch any of the like making of?
Yeah, we watched.
That came out.
We watched. My daughter and I watched 5 of them together.
Yeah, and how this wasn't originally a Princess Zelda game. Did you see that? Yeah,
because they were doing the
it was Link,
Zelda Maker. Oh, I don't know if I saw the. I don't know if I saw the.
Yeah,
the
they saw it. It was Link. Link was going to be the main character.
Interesting. I did not see that.
And they were like, but Link has a sword and a shield, and it negated anyone using echoes.
Right.
And they're like, well, that's yeah, basically, you have a sword, you can solve the problems a lot easier that way. And they were like, well, what can we do? Because we want a game where people are puzzle solving and everything. And then that's when they were like, Link shouldn't be the main character. Who do we have that can do that's all about solving puzzles? And Wisdom Zelda. And
yes, Triforce of Wisdom, folks.
It's interesting because it just reminds me of Nintendo's development process of just being like, no, we're developing the game first. We're not even, we're thinking of mechanics and how we want people to feel. And then they kind of decide to go into like, oh, who do we have that actually fits the game that we're making at this point? Which is a different way, because I think a lot of people would assume that they're like, no, we want to make a game for Zelda. For Princess Zelda, and it's like, no, that's not how they approach this. They don't want it to feel that way. In that way, they don't want it to feel like, yes, that's what we're doing. So how do we make mechanics around her, as opposed to we have a game that has mechanics that is perfect for her to be the main character. It's a different approach.
Well, I'm glad they're open to it, as opposed to saying, no, we can never have Zelda be the main character.
Nope.
I'm glad they went with it.
I think it was just a thing of, you listen to them all the time, they're just like, no, it just needs to be the right game.
Yeah.
And it seems like this is the right game. Like, everyone I've known that's played it and what I've seen, I'm like, no, this works. It's different. It's not... It is an old school Zelda, but it's not. It's really clever and uses the entire world and characters in very cool ways. So yeah, that was an interesting thing to hear about and listen to and be like, oh, okay. Very much game comes first for them, and then they'll figure out what's the best presentation for it. So
what a great way to start, because then you've found the fun already. You know, you found the hook, and you're like, okay, now how do we polish this?
I found the hook, and then but the character that we've been using, it just doesn't fit the hook that we have. So, and as I said before, the statement being that like Link without a sword and a shield they don't want to do that.
No, right.
Like, they're like, no, that is the epitome of Link. The image you see, he has a sword and a shield. Like, and we wouldn't put a game out where you take that away from him. So it's an interesting that they're just open to being like, all right, well, if you have a sword and a shield, that's not the game we were making. We don't want to make that game. And we're not making that game. So, next, throw him out. Actually throw him into whatever the dark world is.
Exactly.
Holy cow.
Throw him into the purple, and then you'll fight him later.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't actually see that, but my daughter told me. She's like, oh yeah, I fought Link. And I was like,
yeah,
what?
It's early in the game. It's at the end of the first kind of tutorial dungeon kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah, she got out of that. And
my daughter didn't know about it when it happened. She's like, oh my god, we're fighting Shadow Link! Like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. It's a neat game, though. It's a really neat game.
Oh my god, it's so neat. The way the echoes work. I know people are frustrated that like you can't attack at the time that you want to. You put the echo out, and then you hope it meanders over and finally attacks. And if the enemy attacks your echo first, it's gone. You got to do it again. But I just think it adds a really neat strategic layer.
Combat is definitely more strategic in it.
Yeah. Well, and there's, I love playing these games with my daughter because I'm thinking about it in a certain way. And we're fighting Link, and I'm like, what the fuck? None of this is working. And then she gives me the controller to try, and it's like, nope, nothing's working. And then she's like, oh, do blah, blah, blah. I don't want to tell you what it is, but do blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, of course, this is the thing they just gave us. Of course we're supposed to use this in this fight. I didn't even think about that. What the fuck? I always get stuck like that in Zelda. Like, the thing about Zelda is they give you a new thing to use, so use it.
Yes.
That's using the old shit. The new stuff I got 5 minutes ago instead of 1 minute ago.
Yeah. So I watched that probably less than a half an hour total, because I don't want to completely spoil myself, because I want to actually play this.
What a great year, man.
Yeah.
This wasn't supposed to be like, last year was incredible. Next year looks like it's going to be insane.
Yep.
But this year is quietly, like, maybe not even quietly, like, it's a great year.
What if games. Every year going forward is a great year, because there are just so many games?
Well, that's a good point. There are so many fucking games. Like, maybe this is it for a while, unless everyone closes up shop and fires everyone because fucking layoffs and shit. That's a good point.
Trying to think, have I played any? I did that. Beyond that, I've just played more Satisfactory.
Oh, tell me about that.
I'm just completely rebuilding my factories. That's what I
You're
do.
like making them more efficient kind of thing, or?
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, this is a great way of starting. I didn't know what I was doing. So now let me basically build everything that I've built, but more efficient and more like, I'm trying to build it in a way that also, beyond more efficient, is also easier to manage. So I'm building actual buildings now that have floors. So there's like a subfloor where all the like ores come in and like nuggets come in. And I route them there, and then I unlocked a thing that is basically I can put holes through ceilings or floors. So I can put a hole through and I can route things up to the actual like manufacturing machinery, and then route what they make back down under the floor to route to where it needs to go. So all my like lines are just hidden and I can just walk around without getting caught on anything. Why am I doing that? I don't know. It just was like, felt like it was the next logical step to doing this. Hide the ugly part under the floor, so it looks like I have a factory floor, and then underneath is where everything gets shuffled around. So I think I've got everything reset up. I'm doing rebuilding my copper resource line in manufacturing right now, and I'll do that. And then I need just to output lots of things so I can get to the next stage. But it will be far more organized and easier to expand now. The game is ridiculous. It is a game because of how it's set up, and then what you care about is a lot about efficiency and maximizing all of the resources you're gathering and creating. That it, in a weird way, objectively rewards your creativity. Because when you are creative and do something, you can immediately see if you're being more efficient or not. If you decide, I'm going to do it this way. And so it just has that feeling of rewarding. It's like you're figuring things out, you're getting better in this crazy solution you have come to of like constructing the different components here and then merging them here. You're like, oh, that's perfectly efficient. If I underclock this or overclock this machine, I can get the lines, the assembly lines moving perfectly. They never jitter, they never stop, they just perfectly flow. So there's just this like very rewarding feeling. It's very satisfying. I mean, that's why it's called Satisfactory.
I don't play this game. I don't own this game. I'm not going to play this game. But on my walk there tonight, I was thinking, God, is there a better name for a video game than Satisfactory? Like, what a genius name!
It is so good, and that's what you're doing. And it is a thing where it objectively makes you feel good for creativity. Like, and you know if it's working or not immediately.
Yeah.
And those little hits are really nice. It's like, well, I'll spend hours rebuilding a thing. Because then it starts working, you're like, yes, this is amazing. Look at what I did. But I mean, all you're doing is crafting widgets, taking widgets and making different widgets to make different widgets. And that's all it is. But man, whenever it's running, you just look at all the conveyor lines from up high, and you're just watching this whole machination run. You're like, it feels really good. So good on them for getting it out to release and making this game. Some parts of it I don't even know how they get this game running. It's Unreal Engine 5, and the amount of just crap on screen all the time is kind of insane.
That's not stuttering or anything. It's just going.
Nope. It's just going. There's so much optimizations going on under the hood all over the place to make this work, so you can see like thousands of different objects all moving about at the same time. It's a cool game.
That's cool, man.
It's a really cool game.
I love that you got sucked into this game. Like, for me at least, it was out of the fucking blue. Maybe not for you. I was like, wait.
I mean, I owned it for years.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I had touched it years ago for like maybe an hour, being like, oh, this is cool. I'll just wait until it's 1.0. I think they gave us keys at one point at System Era, and that's how I got it. We did a key exchange, gave them Astroneer keys, and they gave us Satisfactory keys.
Oh, that's cool.
I think that's how I got this game. And then I was like, it's cool. And I had some friends that enjoyed it, even in early access, and I was like, I'll just wait until 1.0 and give it a shot. And I'm glad I did. A lot like Hades in that same way, of being like, yeah, it looks cool. It seems right up my alley. And I'll just wait for them to say that they are ready, really ready for people to play.
Yeah, that's it. Excuse me. Interesting thing I'm running into with Hades 2, which I think is a great game. Really enjoying it. Like, if you like Hades, you're going to like Hades 2. And it's got a lot of cool stuff. I'm like, this is just going to be even better when it's 1.0.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I never did say thank you for Hades 2 as well.
You did over text, but yeah, you are.
But yeah, on air and everything.
Yeah.
But that's the same way. I'm like, that's great. Thank you for it. I don't know if I'll play it yet.
Yeah.
No. Like, that's just what I do with Hades. I'm like, no, Supergiant will tell me when they're ready.
Yes,
and
exactly.
When they say it's ready, I will dive in and probably put close to 200 hours into that game as well. Man, see, that's a game for next year. It's going to be good. I think next year, probably.
Yeah, I think I would guess next year.
Yeah.
Although my guesses could be wrong, so who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I've really been doing. Probably will just kind of chill with Satisfactory this week as well. The following week is a big one. So
yeah, you're not gonna fuck with the Fantasio demo. You're just gonna wait.
Yeah, that's the point. I'm like, I could, and maybe I will if I feel like it one of the nights. Just kind of work through Metaphor, because I know that they said the save files transfer. So
yeah,
I'm not losing anything if I just start playing it. Yeah, I really need to do that. It kind of dropped unexpectedly. Big milestone this week at work. So once I get past that, which is I think Wednesday, is this we get through our milestone. I'll probably have a bit more time.
Yeah.
But then got to be careful because the following week is is Diablo 4 expansion.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Don't say it like it's a bad thing.
No, it's great. There's just why does everything have to come out like why did those two games have to come out like really close to each other? Give me some space.
Yep, exactly.
But it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, that's all that we have this week then. What a big week. So looking forward to we're by the time we're in the next podcast, we will be in October. Switch 2, baby. Switch 2, baby, is happening.
It's got to happen, right? Right?
We're getting the news. Right. We're definitely, They're going to follow the playbook of Switch. Like we're going to do it. We're going to it's October. It's going to release in March. We're calling it Switch 2 for the first time ever. We're going to just iterate with a number. So, I'm excited about that. Well, if you like our podcast, please rate it on your podcast service of choice. Tell your friends, and we will see you next week for a wonderful podcast talking about whatever the fuck happens over the next week. Thanks, folks, for listening, and we will see you next time.
Later, everyone.